Hello, comic movie nerds. This is your host, Kevin, coming at ya. So I thought I'd jump in here with something I just saw recently. There was a 50% drop in viewership from season 1 to season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. I can't believe it. I guess if you dig really deep from all these different reasons, maybe you can see it. I did see from this other show talking about this, saying, well, the Netflix Daredevil also dropped dramatically, I guess between season 2 and 3. You know, during season 2, we got to see the Punisher. He's back. He was kicking butt. The Netflix Daredevil. And yeah, it was things were going really great. Season 3 was a lot different. They changed the villain. It was a little different. I could see like a drop after season 3. Yeah, so it's strange that it dropped off then. And I guess it was a 57% drop. What I just saw from season 2 to season 3 in the Netflix Daredevil. While Born Again is only a 50% drop. You could say, oh, well, that's better then. It's 7% better than last time. Season 1 didn't do that great either. So, like, to drop 50% from season 1. Now, if you know the background a little bit on Born Again, season 1, they were going to push out like 18 episodes for a season, and it was going to be really great. It was like, ooh, an actual season, because I don't understand what's the 6 and 10 episode thing is anymore. But to jump to 18, it got everybody excited. Like, oh wow, an actual whole plot for a real length of a season. They had like a whole different setup how they're going to do the show, and then the president of Marvel, I guess, looked at it, what they were doing, and was like, this ain't gonna work. And I'd hate to be the guys that were doing as much as they did for that first episode, for the first season. All their hard work. And then what President Marvel did is he brought in the same people who wrote and produced the Netflix version of Daredevil into Disney's Marvel and said, please fix this, take it over. You guys will still be the number one. You're the showrunners, essentially, now of Daredevil. So they've patched together as much as they could from season 1 and are 100% all about season 2. So that's like the big background. And Marvel's bringing back actual showrunners. They haven't had actual showrunners before. So somebody who could just be like, this is the plot of all the seasons we're doing, and individual plots in the seasons. So we're gonna get good writing and etc. For the most part, that's why a lot of shows have done really well over the last, say, 5-10 years. Game of Thrones, they had showrunners. They weren't necessarily like in it deep with all the directing and writing, but they were like the head producers of everything, right? And for the most part, they did really good, except, of course, we all know they screwed up in that last season. Like, so bad, I guess they had a contract to do a Star Wars movie. And after the last season of Game of Thrones, the contract was shredded. I was like, if you can't finish a job, if somebody else comes up, we don't want you to start a new one with us. You know, that kind of deal, right? Makes sense. So that was a bummer for them. Anyway. So then we got showrunners, we brought in people who made Daredevil pretty successful, and that was a Netflix. I remember with season 1, like a couple of grievances, like we didn't see Matt Murdock as Daredevil for like I don't know 4 or 5 episodes, and then finally like Muse was taken over. Like somebody had to stop him. Like one of Matt Murdock's clients was like, "If you know Daredevil, like tell him to come back." Paraphrasing. And like that person like was ended up being in trouble by Muse, and so Daredevil they'd come in and help. It's nuts. So I think that was like one of the complaints. We didn't see him as Daredevil for like half the season, and then like a villain that we all wanted to see. He was a lot more short lived than we anticipated. So that's a bummer. So, but it looks like we're gonna get like another Muse. It's just speculation right now. It's what people are saying, and you can kind of see it in the person. I don't want to just be like a spoiler thing. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I think this next iteration of Muse will be even more interesting. Just how this person will become Muse, and the internal and external drama with that. It'll be very interesting. I know there's like a lot of other things going on. I know some people are saying Kingpin is a lot like certain of some certain politicians of today in real life. And they're like, oh, well, I just turn off the news and now I'm watching Daredevil and I feel like I'm still watching the news. I'm like, eye roll. No, it's not the same thing. I don't care your political party. It's not the same. And no, I'm not going to get into politics, but I'm just saying, like, it's not the same. Stop. I mean, you'd have to really exaggerate real life to say it's a lot like the comic book movie show, whatever, right? You can say a certain politician is as evil as they come, but I'm not going to say he's just like Doctor Doom. I don't know if I can watch Doomsday. What? No, we don't have any politicians that are mastering magic and tech and planning to destroy the multiverse. Like, and I'm sorry people think that, but come on. And not that Kingpin has magic, so that makes him closer to reality. No. And nobody who's against said politician is acting like Daredevil. And nor do we want one like Daredevil beating everybody up. I mean, there's a few times where I'm like, where's Batman? With a lot of criminals not going to jail and they're all getting away with the insanity plea. Those things make me go, okay, Batman would not be okay with that. And he'd find them in the middle of the night. But hey, guess what? We don't have a Batman. We don't have any billionaires who are wrapping themselves in a rubber suit with pointy ears going after people. So like I don't know necessarily buy this. Well, it's too close to reality, so people don't want to watch the show. I think there's a couple of things. There's a lot of people who are mad at Disney for maybe several reasons, and so they just canceled the streaming service. So there's a lot less people who actually have the streaming service. And then you combine that with um, grievances about the show for different reasons, and like maybe a continuation of the Marvel universe in general. People have been not as happy about. Excuse me. Like these last couple phases of the multiverse saga, people aren't being all that excited about. They don't want to watch the movies as excited as they were in the Infinity Saga. So eventually people are just like, you know what? I'm not going to finish watching Daredevil. See, season 1, and then Captain America 4, so I give up. To me, that says you're not real fans. I think real fans don't give up. That you have a feeling that like it's gonna turn around, and that's me. That's how I am. Like it's gonna turn around. I keep watching. I keep taking my kids to the theater whenever one comes out. And I think after the last movie, Thunderbolts, it's turning around. We're gonna have a great Spider-Man 4. All the rumors and the trailers that have come out are like, oh, this is gonna be great. We got Punisher in it. We got Hulk, like Rage Hulk, coming back. We might even see, once we get like the main villain of everything, we might see a team up with Punisher, Hulk, and Spider-Man. Hello! Spider-Man's gonna go through a little bit of a metamorphosis, not man spider, but he'll be stronger. He might have the organic webbing just come out of his wrist like Tobey Maguire. What's the other thing? Maybe better Spidey senses. Do you see him in one trailer? Dude, Tobey Maguire's been hitting the gym. He's ripped. Call me whatever you want, but man, I want my superheroes ripped. All right. It adds to the reality of it. You know, if you're super strong, you have the muscles bulging out of your arms and your pecs, your abs. Heck, if we see you in shorts, we probably see leg muscles. They're like, oh. I know there's like a certain subculture of comics where people are like, you know what? Do they necessarily have to have muscles? Like bulging out? Like they could have a pot belly and still kick butt. There are some superheroes that have pot bellies and kick butt. They're so fat that bullets don't injure them or something. There's the one in the X-Men universe. He was shown in the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Got really overweight, and now that's actually like one of his powers. I know a lot of people overweight, they don't consider that a power, but but like, I mean, that's like the exception, not the rule. Anywho, I'm going, like, here's my rabbit trail. I should just rename my channel to Rabbit Trail Comics or something. I don't know. Anyway. So, like, Spider-Man 4 looks totally dope. It's going to be great. And a lot of people are saying, and I'm one of the believers, that we're going to get Jean Grey from the X-Men somehow showing up. Hopefully they explain it. I think it has to do with the multiverse, and somehow they're starting to, like, characters are starting to slip between timelines. It doesn't quite make sense, but it's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, it says we don't have a he who remains destroying a timeline when certain characters start to appear. Like, he who remains might be just, he might have taken out Jean Grey if all of a sudden she showed up, and like other X-Men, because that would bring about a Doctor Doom in that universe, and other Kangs. So, but since now Loki is God of Stories, essentially the new He Who Remains, he's not. He's just letting things go, free will, uh, infinite amount of multiverses, and so if characters pop up, they pop up, and that could be just the easiest explanation why there's suddenly Jean Grey in the MCU or Universe 616. So I think that's great. I think we're gonna get. Oh, I can't just slip my mind. Just one villain who's about maybe getting some Spidey blood. He's the one who's narrating in the trailer, talking about the 3 phases of a spider, which I guess isn't necessarily true about a spider, but it's kind of fun. We're going to get Scorpion from Spider-Man Homecoming, that same actor. He's going to get a suit, comic accurate suit, like a Scorpion, so that'll be fun. Tombstone, so a pretty tough villain for Spidey to fight. Yeah, that's going to be great. It's going to get huge numbers, maybe even hit a billion again. I almost want to say all Spider-Man movies got hit a billion, which is absolutely insane. So hats off to Tom Holland and on all crew who have made that movie, all movies. I want to say Homecoming made a little less, but I have to look at the numbers. Maybe they barely hit, or you might as well just say they hit it because it was like 900 something million, right? So they're all great. And then after Spider-Man, we're going to get Doomsday. I mean, that's going to be absolutely amazing. This is going to bring Nostalgic City, all these different characters meeting each other to fight off one of Marvel's greatest villains ever, Doctor Doom, in one of the greatest comic book stories ever. That's Doomsday and Secret Wars. And a couple of previous to Secret Wars storylines may bleed into Doomsday as well. Like there's a Time Runs Out comic, which is mainly like a Doctor Strange comic. I don't think we're going to get much of him, but it's going to be probably just a few things that will be added into Doomsday from that story. I don't know if anybody cares about this, but we got a Vision Quest coming out, which is a third in a story. So we got it's a WandaVision, right? Was the first one, and then Agatha All Along show, which is more about Wanda's son discovering who he really is. He was her son and his soul after she collapsed to Hex, found a new host body, essentially. So it was more about him than anything, than Agatha, really. And then the show kind of ends with, I was able to find Tommy's soul and put him into a body. But that's how it ends, and so Vision Quest will be more about Tommy coming back and find out what happened to White Vision. And I assume that the end of Vision Quest will end with leading into Doomsday or Secret Wars, because there's been some art came out there with Star-Lord hanging out with Vision, just chilling on a couch. So that might show up like in Secret Wars or something. So that'd be fun. Anyway, my point is there's a lot to get excited about. So I think the viewers will come back, and then they'll come back and they'll check out, see what other shows have come out recently, like Daredevil season 1 and then season 2. Before Secret Wars comes out, Daredevil season 3 will be going. We'll be going, and like every episode will be out and done. And they might even be working on season 4 by the time Secret Wars actually hits the theaters. I think there's already a contract for like 5 seasons of Daredevil, so I don't know if they can necessarily go. I think they can, and they have with other shows like, you planned on doing this. We told you you could do up to so many seasons, but nobody's watching. What were some things? I think Game of Thrones could have gone on for a little while longer, but they said, no, wrap it up. And that's one of the reasons why they went to, oh, shoot, how do we wrap this up? And, like, the author didn't even finish the book. So they were just kind of winging it. I mean, the author was giving him some pointers, but I don't think he's ever going to finish the book, honestly. I haven't read him, and I'll be honest, I'm not a huge book reader. Like, I don't have the endurance. You got to, like, read quick and retain it, and because they're thick books. Like, part of me really wants to read the Lord of the Rings movie books, but each one is like that. You get into like the language of the elfish people. Like, if you're really into the Lord of the Rings books, you come away from those books learning how to speak a made-up language. It's insane. I had somebody like wrote my name in Elfish just from what he read. It's insane. Anywho, see again. My light's going out. My ring light. Anywho, I think the audience is going to come back. Like, we shouldn't be too surprised that the numbers are going to go down. They went down during its Netflix era. So, for fans who are confused about, like, why is it, and it didn't even show up on the Nielsen ratings. Like, it doesn't make sense, but don't worry. The fans will come back with great movies coming up. Doomsday Secret Wars. They'll have at least 2 more Spider-Man movies coming out. We got Black Panther 3 coming out. It's supposed to have Denzel Washington in it. We might get Storm, who will show up in Black Panther 3. The X-Men Storm. Of course, we got the X-Men movies. Marvel's X-Men. They're supposed to be really great. They're going to go for a younger cast so that way they can grow with the series. Fantastic Four will be in the same universe. They're going to do sequels to the first movie. So at least 2 more sequels of the Fantastic Four. In the same universe as X-Men and the Avengers. I'm like, somewhere down the line they're going to do Civil War 2, which was really great in the comics. And they'll be able to do it more accurately because they got X-Men and Fantastic Four and several other Avengers and characters that are now in the universe. Where's my lighter? Anyway, that's my beef and my spiel on the ratings down on Daredevil. I think we got 2 more episodes of Daredevil, maybe 3. Can't remember, just because today's Tuesday, so I'm like kind of counting that in my head. So I think it's this one and then 2 more. Check it out. It's been a great season. Way better than season 1. Some messed up episodes are like, oh. Bullseye was absolutely amazing this year. I mean, he's been amazing like every time he's out. We should give him his own like season or one shot. The actor says he wants to do a season or one shot with another character. Oh, who was it? I don't know, I'll get back to do another video on that. And I think that'd be dope because he's a great actor, great character. He would do it justice with getting out of the Daredevil universe. So there's a lot to look forward to in the Marvel shows, and of course the movies. I'm one of those big fans. Like I won't give up. I won't quit. Might be the occasional movie or show that'll come up and be like, or episode of a show, and I'll be like, I don't know, guys, what we're thinking. But I'm all in. I've been loving this since the beginning, and I'm looking forward to more movies and shows. I hope you are too. One more thing before I end. Don't forget to click like and subscribe so you can be alerted or notified when more of my episodes drop. Love to hear from you. Don't forget, add something in the comments so we can talk about things, or maybe give me an idea for a video. Appreciate you. And again, don't forget to hit like, smash it, tap it. We all appreciate a gentle tapping from time to time, especially in regards to the like button. God bless y'all.